Hi everyone, and welcome to QuickBooks Enterprise demonstration. My name is Rayanne Salter with Minding My Books. I've been working with QuickBooks software for over 20 years. I've helped over hundreds of businesses implement QuickBooks Enterprise. I specialize in finding what specific needs you require for your business, and if QuickBooks Enterprise is a good fit, we then work with you, your staff, and accountant during the implementation process. Also, since I'm a QuickBooks solution provider, I am able to meet or beat subscription pricing better than if you purchase from Intuit directly from their telesales channel or online through their website. Another benefit is that I will give you up to 5 free hours of help with QuickBooks Enterprise implementation. Here's what we would like to cover with you today. We'll first navigate through QuickBooks Enterprise to work with List, explain what advanced pricing can do for you, work with Inventory and Advanced Inventory, discuss the reporting options, go through the features of QuickBooks Enterprise and available add-ons that work specifically for your software. What you're looking at now is the home screen. The home screen is divided into group sections. You have the vendor section for accounts payable activities. There's a customer section for accounts receivable activities. There's an employees section for time and payroll functions. There's a company section where you'll find your items, services, and chart of accounts. Then the banking section where you'll write checks, enter credit card charges, and reconcile your accounts. We're going to start by taking a look at some of the features that allow you to track more detail about your business. So we will start with the items list. The items list is where you record your items and services. Those will include service items, inventory parts if you need to track the quantity, inventory assemblies if you do manufacturing. There are non-inventory parts if you don't need to track inventory in quantity. Then we have other charge items. You can subtotal items. You can create group items that are similar to kits. You can have discount items and payment items. If you charge sales tax, you have sales tax items and sales tax groups. All of those belong on your items list. Keep in mind that the QuickBooks Pro and Premier, your items list is limited to 14,500 total items, whereas in QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased that to 1 million items. Earlier I mentioned custom fields in QuickBooks Enterprise. You can create custom fields that greater define your items. In Pro and Premier versions, you're limited to 5 custom fields. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased it to 15 custom fields. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we allow you to choose what sort of information can go into that field, so you can choose a particular date format, and you can also create a multiple choice list. We also give you the ability to require the use of custom fields on transactions or when you create a new items list. Now let's go to the home screen. Next, we'll talk about the names list. The names list includes a customer jobs list that you see here. There is also a vendors list, an employees list. In QuickBooks Pro and Premier software, our names list is limited to 14,500 total names. And again, in our QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased that to 1 million. You can also create custom fields for names. With QuickBooks Pro and Premier software, you're allowed to create a maximum of 15 total custom fields, but you can only have a maximum of 7 for any one list type. For example, you can have 7 custom fields for customers, 7 for vendors, and 1 for employee. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased that to 30 total custom fields with a maximum of 12 for any one name type. Again, we've given you the ability to choose what sort of information can go into those custom fields, including the ability to create that multiple choice list. And again, we've given you the ability to require the use on transactions and list. Next is our chart of accounts. In the Pro and Premier software, the chart of accounts is limited to 10,000 accounts. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased that to 100,000. Now let's go back to our home screen. Next is a class list. Classes allow you to see the profitability by any significant portion of your business. Then you can run a profit and loss by class, or you can even run a balance sheet by class. In our QuickBooks Pro and Premier software, you are limited to 10,000 classes in QuickBooks. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we've increased that to 100,000 classes. QuickBooks Enterprise also allows you to assign a default class. You can assign a default class to either accounts, items, or names. Next in list, you have your fixed assets items list in QuickBooks. In QuickBooks, you're allowed to record your fixed assets. QuickBooks Enterprise also includes a fixed asset manager. The fixed asset manager allows you to easily report on your depreciation of your fixed assets. And with just a couple of clicks, you can then post those journal entries right into QuickBooks Enterprise. Next in list is the price level list. Price levels allow you to create custom pricing. There are 2 different types of price levels. There is a fixed percentage, which allows you to mark all of your items up or down by a percentage amount. And then you have per item pricing. Per item prices allow you to create custom pricing for individual items in our Pro level software. Only fixed price levels are available. Per item prices are available in Premier, and in both Pro and Premier are limited to 100 price levels. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we offer 750. Next, we'll talk about advanced pricing. Advanced pricing is included in the Platinum subscription of QuickBooks Enterprise. To enable it, we'll go to Edit, Preferences, Sales and Customers, Company Preferences, and we'll mark Enable Advanced Pricing. Click OK to go back to the home screen. After it's been enabled, we can go to List and choose the price rule list. QuickBooks has converted all of their price levels to price rules. Price rules allow you to set custom pricing based on a multiple number of criteria you can select based on items, customers, class, or sales rep. You can create a start date and an end date, and you can set the price to either a percent or amount lower or higher than your base cost. I have a separate video that will go into more of a detailed demonstration of the advanced pricing feature. Next, we'll talk about some form customization options that are built into QuickBooks Enterprise. We'll take a look at an invoice. The same customization options are available on purchase orders, estimates, and sales order. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we give you the ability to sort by any field on the invoice. So if I wanted to search by description, then I can sort it by that field as it says here, and once you've sorted, that sorting cannot be undone. You can search by any field on the invoice that's the most helpful for very long invoices. we include the ability to customize your forms in QuickBooks. This allows you to customize the look and feel for your form in QuickBooks. And in QuickBooks Enterprise, we give you the ability to include cost on the screen of your forms. And with advanced pricing, you can include the base price of items on your forms. We give the options to show only the total on the last page for longer invoices. And you can print page numbers on forms that are longer than 2 pages. When printing your invoices and other forms, you can shade lines between items to make them easier to see. To fill out forms, we include the Find and Select feature in QuickBooks Enterprise. This makes it easier to search items using any field, and then you can easily add those fields right into your form. The search capability allows you to start typing an item, and then QuickBooks will find that item for you. Next, we'll talk about more items that will allow you to track more detail about your inventory. Let's start with the Inventory Center. The Inventory Center is where you'll see all of your items in QuickBooks. In the Inventory Center, you can easily see your markup and margin for items. You can also include an image of the item. Next, in Inventory, we've improved a preference that allows you to disallow negative quantities in inventory. When you choose this preference, you cannot sell inventory into the negative. Next is the Automatic Price Markup feature. This is a feature where when you're entering a bill for new items and your cost on that item increases, QuickBooks will ask you if you want to update the item record with the new cost. If you answer yes to that, it will suggest your sales price based upon your existing markup and margin. Now let's go back to the home screen. Next, we'll talk about some manufacturing features that are improved in QuickBooks Enterprise when building an assembly. QuickBooks Enterprise will allow you to change your components on the fly. So if you are out of a particular item, you can make your substitution right there on the build screen. You can also change your quantity needed. This will help you account for waste. QuickBooks Enterprise allows you to customize this build screen much like you can customize other forms in QuickBooks, like your invoice, estimate, and purchase order will allow you to print this built screen if you need to build it for some shop floor traveler. If your assembly includes other assemblies, QuickBooks will allow you to automatically build those required subassemblies all in one step. You can also print a shortage report if you attempt to build more assemblies than the raw material you have on hand will allow you to print a shortage report. The shortage report will show you all of the items that are short and then allow you to automatically create purchase orders from that assembly. Now let's go ahead and go back to the home screen. You will have the ability to create automatic purchase orders. You will find this on inventory reports like an inventory stock status by item report. From this report, any item that is flagged to reorder, when you click the Create Auto PO button, it will put those items on your report. It will also create one purchase order per vendor. The last thing we'll talk about in inventory is the Advanced Inventory feature. Advanced Inventory is included in the Platinum subscription. Advanced Inventory includes 7 things. It includes the ability to track inventory and multiple inventory locations. It also includes the ability to track inventory in different bin locations inside of your warehouses. It gives you the ability to track either serial numbers or lot numbers within QuickBooks. It will give you the ability to use FIFO costing versus the standard average cost that is included in QuickBooks. It will give you the ability to use barcode scanning to place items on forms and to receive items into your warehouse. You can enable worksheets for sales order fulfillment for our pick, pack, and ship feature, and purchase order management to receive items in stock. All this can be done through a computer in the warehouse or a mobile barcode scanner. You can set up landed cost accounts to track your products more accurately. You don't see it on this preference form, but alternate vendor is another feature of QuickBooks Enterprise Advanced Inventory. This allows you to compare up to 4 alternate vendors for one inventory part. I have a separate video for Advanced Inventory that will give you a detailed demonstration. You will see the link at the end of this video. Now let's go back to the home screen. Next, we'll talk about some reporting capabilities that are unique to QuickBooks Enterprise. Let's start with the ability to combine reports for multiple company files. The first thing we'll do is add additional files to this feature. Once we've added those files, we can choose our date range. We can choose our report basis, and we can choose which reports we would like to combine. Then we'll click on the Combine Reports in Excel button. This shows our combined report. What you're looking at here is a balance sheet standard. All of your accounts are listed on the left-hand side. Each company file has its own column. The total shows in the last column where accounts match for both name and number. You'll have accounts included on that same line. So again, this is our balance sheet standard. Here's our balance sheet summary. There's a profit and loss standard. There's a statement of cash flows. There's a trial balance, and you can also run a sales by customer summary and a profit and loss by class. Let's go to the home screen. Next in reporting is an ODBC that we include in QuickBooks Enterprise. ODBC stands for Open Database Connectivity. It was a standard that was developed by Microsoft. It will allow you to run custom reports using outside applications like Microsoft Access, Excel, or even Crystal reports to build custom reports using your QuickBooks data. The ODBC interface is included when you purchase QuickBooks Enterprise. We also include the Intuit Statement Writer. The Statement Writer allows you to start with balance sheet reports, income statements, cash flow statements, budget reports, retained earnings statements. You can also create cover letters, audit reports, and compilation reports. With the Statement Writer, you can customize reports one time and then use them again and again. You can also export them from one company file and use them in another company file. There are also 2 job costing reports that are unique to QuickBooks Enterprise. The first report is a WIP summary report. This report takes a look at your estimated cost, shows you how complete you are with that job, and then allows you to compare your earned revenue to your actual revenue to make sure that you're invoicing enough for your job. There is also a committed cost by job report. The committed cost by job report contains 2 unique things that aren't found in any other costing report. The first is the committed cost column. This includes items that are included on purchase orders or item receipts that aren't already a part of job costing. It also includes an unpaid wages column. Time in QuickBooks is not a cost until you pay that employee. This includes time that is not yet included on a paycheck. Once you pay that employee, that will move over into the actual cost column. The last thing we'll talk about in reporting is our advanced reporting feature. Advanced reporting puts the information you need at your fingertips. It helps you find the right report fast with templates bundled for manufacturing, wholesale contractors, and retail. You can save time with the templates that are auto-filled with your company data. You can find the reporting answers when you need them with the robust help portal. Advanced reporting is our most powerful reporting tool and has never been easier. Now we'll go back to our home screen. Next, we'll talk about some features that will allow you to access QuickBooks Enterprise the way that you want. As I mentioned before, QuickBooks Enterprise will allow you to scale from 1 to 30 simultaneous users. It will allow you to work in 2 company files at the same time. To access this feature, we will go to the file at the top of the screen. I will go to Open Second Company. This will allow you to choose the second company file you wish to open. And now you're in your second company file. Both company files will show up on your taskbar, and you can easily toggle between each company file. Your main company file will say Primary at the top of the screen, and your second company file will say Secondary. A lot of my clients even change the color scheme so that they can easily see the difference between each company file. QuickBooks Enterprise with hosting is an additional feature for you to have with QuickBooks Desktop Enterprise. The hosting offers protected anytime, anywhere, and on any device access to your data with hosting no matter where you are. Or if you're using a Mac, PC, or tablet, you can access your data. You get a reduced price for bundling QuickBooks Enterprise with hosting. Let me know if you want more information on pricing added to your quote for QuickBooks Enterprise hosting service. We also include a QuickBooks chat feature. This allows you to chat with coworkers that are logged onto the company file. It also allows the administrator to close users out of the company file. This should make it easy for users who had to complete an activity that required single user access. Next, we'll talk about the expanded user control and security features that are built in QuickBooks Enterprise. We'll start with the user permissions, but first I'm going to show you the user permissions that are built in Pro and Premier software. User permissions in our Pro and Premier software are divided into 8 broad categories. If you give someone access to one of these categories in our Pro and Premier software, that user would be able to do absolutely everything in that particular category. If you're going to give someone access to sales and receivables, they would be able to see your sales invoices, sales receipts. They could do estimates. They would be able to perform progress billing. They can receive deposits and customer payments. They will be able to enter returns. All of those things are included in this one category in Pro and Premier. In QuickBooks Enterprise, we get very specific with user permissions. First, we include a role list. There are 15 predefined roles. There's even a view-only role. So if you wanted to give somebody the ability to look at everything but change nothing, the view-only role would accomplish that. We allow you to delete roles. You can duplicate them, you can modify them, and you can create brand new roles from scratch. This is where you'll find the 115 different permission choices that are available within QuickBooks Enterprise. Let's take a look at the customer's receivables role, which is similar to the sales and receivables role that we looked at with Pro and Premier. You can see that you can get very specific with user permissions. If you want to give someone the ability to create a sales order but not create invoices, you can do that in QuickBooks Enterprise inside the permission. You can give the ability to view and create but not modify or delete. You can get very specific with permissions in QuickBooks Enterprise. We also give you an easy way to view user permissions. You can do this by user or by role. In a really easy to read report form, you can go through and audit your user permissions to make sure that you haven't given someone more access to the program than what you want them to have. QuickBooks allows you to lock down portions of your data by entering a closing date. You can go in and choose any date of your choice. Enter a closing date password, and then no user, unless you provide them with a password, would be able to make any change that falls on or before the date of your choice. You will be able to see any changes that are made before that closing date by viewing the closing date exception report. There's also an always-on audit trail, and there's an audit trail report. This audit trail report is going to show you every transaction that was entered, modified, and deleted, who did it, and when they did it. Again, the audit trail is always turned on and cannot be turned off. The last thing we'll talk about is some things that come with your purchase of QuickBooks Enterprise subscription. In addition to US-based technical support and the latest edition of QuickBooks, we also include an online backup service. With the online backup service, you can set automatic daily backups you have with 100 gigabytes of backup space, and your data is secure with bank level security that integrates seamlessly with QuickBooks Enterprise. And after you purchase, it's easy to activate your Data Protect. For those of you who need to do EDI, Intuit has partnered with TrueCommerce. EDI can automate your sales and purchase order processing. It can improve your productivity, reduce your errors, and streamline your order to cash cycle. Major retailers, manufacturing, and wholesalers almost universally mandate their suppliers to use EDI. Intuit has partnered with TrueCommerce. This includes the TrueCommerce EDI software along with one trading partner at no charge with your QuickBooks Enterprise subscription. For more information about EDI, contact me and I will introduce you to a TrueCommerce representative. For those of you who are in the field service industry, we have Intuit Field Service Management. Intuit Field Service Management gives you real-time updates from the field, efficient job scheduling, and on-the-spot invoicing. With Field Service Management, you can send wireless work orders to your field service technicians, and they can then accept payment in the field and send invoices right back to QuickBooks Enterprise. With the purchase of Enterprise solutions, you will get one free user of Intuit Field Service Management. This is included in your QuickBooks Enterprise subscription price.
Now let's talk about new features for QuickBooks Enterprise 2023. Cashflow Hub is a new feature for Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond editions of QuickBooks Enterprise. From the home screen, go to the Reports menu and choose Cashflow Hub, or from the sidebar under My Shortcuts, choose Cashflow Hub. If it's the first time you've used the Cashflow Hub, you will need to log in with your Intuit account information. As you can see, it is an all-in-one dashboard to monitor your cash flow in an instant. You can view your cash balance, undeposited funds, bank and credit card accounts, along with loan and liability information. You can also manage your money in and money out transactions. First, you will see today's cash balance, which is a total of all your cash balances in your linked bank accounts and other selected accounts from your chart of accounts. It doesn't include loan or credit cards. You can view the undeposited funds account to know what is waiting to be deposited in the bank. Next to each account, you see the account's balance. If you use bank feeds to download transactions for an account, this number comes from the bank, so you always have an accurate balance. If you don't use bank feeds, the Cash Flow Hub uses the transactions you've recorded in QuickBooks to build the balance. You can add or remove accounts that you wish to display in this section without affecting your chart of accounts and balances. Select Manage Accounts, choose to manage a linked or unlinked account, and select Next. Accounts with check boxes will appear in the Cash Flow Hub. Next, QuickBooks uses the transactions you record to build the cash flow trend. This graph displays your cash balance history. Click on the drop-down arrow to change the date range for the graph. You can place your cursor in the graph to see your cash balance, total money in, and money out for a given period. You can also select View Reports to access your financial statements. In the Money In section, QuickBooks summarizes transactions related to money that customers owe or pay to you, like invoices, credit memos, and sales receipts. You first choose your date range to see the total for the time period chosen, how much is outstanding from open invoices and credit memos, as well as what customers have paid. You can get more details on the transactions in the Upcoming and Paid tabs. From the section, you can see how many transactions occurred along with specific actions related to the type of transaction. You can create an invoice from the screen. In the bottom right, you can view the accounts receivable aging and or customer balance summary report. Lastly, from the Money Out section, QuickBooks summarizes transactions related to expenses like bills, checks, and credit card charges. You first choose your date range to see the total for the time period chosen and how much you owe in unpaid bills versus how much you've actually paid. You can get more detail on the transactions in the Upcoming and Paid tabs. From this section, you can see how many transactions occurred along with the specific actions related to the type of transaction. You can create a bill from this screen. In the bottom right, you can run the accounts payable aging and or the vendor balance summary reports. Intercompany transactions is a new feature in QuickBooks 2023 that has been asked for by my clients for a very long time, and QuickBooks has finally delivered. Intercompany transaction feature is available with QuickBooks Platinum and Diamond subscriptions. I've found that many of my clients have one or more businesses that they own or manage. One benefit to using QuickBooks Enterprise is that you can have multiple company files under one license at no additional cost. It's frustrating for my clients to go into each company file to record transactions from one company to another. Basically, it's a lot of time that you can spend doing something else. Now you can use intercompany transactions to record transactions made by one company that also affect another company that you own or manage. This feature will save a lot of time. To use this feature, it's important that each related company has a separate company file. First, we need to create a relationship between the companies. Under Company, at the top of the toolbar, select Intercompany Transactions. If you're not logged into your Intuit account, enter your username and password. Then select Create a Relationship. Then select Continue. QuickBooks displays a list of company files that you're a user in. Select the company you want to create a relationship with and select Continue. Next, choose two accounts QuickBooks will use when you enter a transaction that relates to the other company. The Due From account tracks how much money the other company you're signed into, and Due To tracks how much this company owes to the other company. For the Due From account, it's recommended you choose or set up an asset and name it so it's clear it relates to the other company. For the Due To account, it's recommended you choose or set up an asset and name it so it's clear it relates to the other company. Select Send Request and then OK. The relationship is pending, and you won't be able to record any intercompany transactions related to them until the other company approves the relationship. Select File, Close Company, then select the other company file. Open it and log in. Select Intercompany Transactions. The Relationships tab shows you which relationships are pending approval, as well as any rejected, approved, or requested relationships. Here's a company that requested a relationship earlier. Under Action, you can reject or approve. Approve the request. Next, choose the two accounts QuickBooks will use when you enter a transaction that relates to the other company. Remember, it's recommended to set up an asset and a liability account with the other company's name in the title. Then select Approve Relationship and select OK. Select the Approved box, and now you can see any companies with approved relationships to this company. Select Create a Relationship to request relationships with any other companies. This company purchased some materials for the other company. Let's record that. Select Write Checks and select Intercompany Transactions. QuickBooks warns you that you must limit your transaction to one line item. Select OK. Enter the payee, date, and other information like you would on any other transaction. Select the company drop-down arrow and select the company you made the purchase for. Since you bought something for the other company, use Due From account, which is an asset. Then enter the dollar value of the purchase and any other relevant information. Select Save and Close. While the transaction is pending approval, it does not affect any of your account balances. Select Intercompany Transactions, and on the Transaction tab, select Sent for Approval to see any pending transactions. Let's switch back to the other company to see everything from their point of view. Select Intercompany Transactions. Then select the Transactions tab and Pending My Approval. Here's the transaction the other company recorded. Before you can approve the transaction, you have to choose an expense account. The transaction was for job materials. Select Approve. QuickBooks creates a journal entry in this company and makes the transaction you recorded earlier posting so that it affects your accounts. Select OK. Let's take a look at what the transaction did. Select the chart of accounts, liability account, transaction increased with what this company owes to the other company. Select reports, company and financial, profit and loss standard, and here's the job material expense. Now you're ready to use intercompany transactions to speed up your work in multiple companies. You sell items based on an expiration date? If so, QuickBooks Enterprise 2023 now allows you to track inventory based on expiration dates. This helps you reduce the risk of selling expired items or make sales decisions like discounting items about to expire. Keep in mind, expiration date tracking is a new feature only available in Platinum and Diamond subscriptions in 2023. To get started, first turn on expiration dates from Preferences. Choose Items and Inventory. Choose Company Preferences. Select Advanced Inventory Settings and then the Serial, Lot Number, and Expiration tab. To track expiration dates, you'll also need to activate serial or lot numbers. That's because when you assign an expiration date, you assign it to a specific serial or lot number. Select the Activate Expiration Date checkboxes. Then select the transactions such as purchase transactions, sales transactions, inventory adjustments, and transfers along with billed assembly items that you want to include expiration dates. You can make the expiration date mandatory or choose to give you an alert if you don't enter it. You can also add preferences for specific items when you add or edit them. Keep in mind this overrides the global preferences you enter in Advanced Inventory Settings. Select OK. Let's receive inventory and record the expiration date for an inventory item. Select Receive Inventory. Receive inventory with a bill. Fill out the transaction like you normally would, or use a purchase order to fill it out for you. Enter the serial or lot number for the inventory you received. Then enter an expiration date, and then save the transaction. If you want to assign expiration dates to existing serial or lot numbers, open the inventory menu and select Adjust Quantity Value on Hand. Select serial or lot number as the adjustment type. Enter the name of the inventory, and then select the drop-down menu under serial or lot number. Enter serial number and the expiration date. Then select Save and Close. To track the expiration date of your inventory on Reports, select the Reports menu, Inventory, Serial Lot Numbers in Stock, then double-click the serial or lot number to see the expiration date. That's how expiration dates work within QuickBooks Enterprise. That concludes our video for new features within QuickBooks Enterprise 2023. If you have more questions regarding which software is the best fit for your business, please reach out to me at rayanne.salter@mindingmybooks.com or click here to schedule an appointment with me. I will give you an unbiased opinion and customize a package for an all-in-one solution based on your needs. Don't forget, I'm available to help throughout the implementation process. Also, please check out my video, the complete tutorial for QuickBooks Enterprise Advanced Inventory, to learn more about the features of QuickBooks Enterprise without the high cost compared to other inventory systems. And as always, thank you so much for watching my video.